Welcome back to the channel. A few videos ago I'd made a clock. If you haven't seen that clock, I will leave a card up so you can watch it and you'll get what I'm talking about. But I've still got these two pieces left and a coaster. I'm going to make something today that I am shocked. I found it online and I am shocked what people will pay for it. So I'll run the intro. Okay then, so what am I making? Well, I've got two pieces of walnut here, which are end planks or offcuts of obviously planks of wood, and I'm going to glue these together. But I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing yet until this has come out of its clamps. So I'll get this glued up, and I'll see you after that when it's all dried up. Right, so we've got that clamped up, and we'll let that go off. I'll let it go off overnight, and I'll see you tomorrow when we can. I can reveal all of what's going on. Well, it's the next day, and this has had plenty of time to dry now. So we'll get this unclamped. So what are we making? Well, as I said before I glued this up, I'm just absolutely shocked at what people will pay for stuff. And as a beginner woodworker, if you can make this quite a simple product, you're going to make some good money. So I'm going to put an image up now of what it is. Yeah, that's right, £113 for a phone stand. Unbelievable. Well, I'm going to make that here today, and hopefully inspire somebody to make the same thing. I say it can be done in pine. I'm just using walnut because I had those two pieces. So what's next? Well, I've got to get this all cleaned up, squared up, so I'll get that done and I'll bring you back. Okay, you've seen there I've cleaned up 3 edges. So that's the back of the unit, the top or bottom, whichever. But the reason I haven't done that is because this is going to get cut away at an angle. So what I've done is I've measured in 75mm in, and it'll be a 20-degree angle cut off. Now the image shows a piece that is 130 centimeters tall. That's if I've read that right. Yeah, 130 centimeters tall, or 5 1/8 tall. I'm not going to chop this down to that. I'm just going to leave it as minimal work on this as possible. And ours is 175 centimeters, or it's 6 7/8 tall. Either way, I think it'll work, but we won't know until we get on with it. So I've set the saw up now to cut it. I'm going to do it on a chop saw. Only do this cut if you're confident on the chop saw. You'll see from the video footage I've not got much room for my hand. However, I'm confident enough to do it. And if it goes wrong, you'll see it on a video. So hopefully you can make that out. There is a line there. I'll make sure I cut the right line this time. And okay. Like I say, if you're not confident with this, don't do it this way. Do it a safer way if you feel better on a bigger piece. There you go. Like I say, you saw me on the saw there, slow and steady. I may have sped that up. If I have, apologise, but slow and steady, and just take your time. So right away I was thinking what can I do with that, but it's got to go in the bin. Let me just chuck that in the bin. And there you have the basis of this phone stand. Now, it's not like that. It's going to be propped up. And what we're going to use, if you saw a bit early on, I have this coaster. So I'm going to cut this coaster to sit into that and utilise something that's just been left over. So I've got a bit of marking out to do. Got to judge out how tall I'm going to do this. So I'll get set up for that and I will see you shortly. Okay, we're ready to set this out. So I just want to make sure you're in shot, or I'm to point at the right direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it 25mm up from the bottom. 25mm up from the bottom, and that's our line. Now with this piece, I'm going to use the piece itself, and that's our line there. So I hope you can make this out. Let's see if I can get it on the screen. So there's one line there and one line there. We're going to cut some of this out. Now we're not cutting loads of it out. I would imagine we just need enough. It's only for a phone, so it's not extremely heavy. Something like that. But that means that will go in straight, and we want to mimic the angle. So doing that again. What happens when you make them up as you go along. And there you can see, if I can get it in, yes, there you can see that is the bit we're going to cut out. I'm going to do that on the bandsaw. Okay, join me at the bandsaw. I'm trying to get you as close in as I could. I think I've not done a bad job there. You see the cut, the mark there. I'm just going to go and do it by eye from the top. Okay? See there, I've cut it out. Now it's time for a bit. Something you don't see me do often enough on here is I'm going to do some chisel work. Okay, with that cut, lessons to be learnt. I really need to sharpen my chisels, which I'll have to do, probably do after this video anyway. Right, so now that's been cut out. It doesn't have to be clean because it's going to get covered up with this. This is the seat it's going to sit on. Now, it is slightly a bit too thick, this, but I'm not going to mess with that. Let's put that to one side. This now needs cutting to length, and then we're going to put a half lap joint so it will sit inside of there. Okay, so I've got our piece now, cut it down to 45mm or 1 3/4. I'm now going to take a piece out the centre. I'm going to do this on the bandsaw, just nibble away at it and then cut it down with a chisel, and then I'll probably sand this to fit that gap. Yeah, so I'll meet you at the bandsaw. Right, I've set up this stop block here to stop me going any further than I need to, and it's only knocked up with a couple of clamps holding bits here. This isn't, it's only fastened down by a clamp, but we should be able to get this done now quite steady. There you go, nice little comb. But I've kept it away from the line on that one in case I have to tweak it, so I'll keep this set up waiting just in case. See you back at the bench. Okay, this word of warning. I've just found out why this was left on the shelf. It's just snapped on me when I'm trying to install it. If you look close enough there, you'll see the glue mark. Fortunately, it was a clean break, so that's why it never went. But that will sit in there. I'm not pushing it right back yet because I've got sanding to do. But that is a little bit wide, so I'm going to trim that down. But meanwhile, I'm going to get this sanded. So I'm still giving this new sandpaper a go. I'm going to sand this down with 120 and then 180. See how it goes. I'll probably finish it off with 240. You don't have to watch this. I will fast forward through it. But it's unfortunate. It's a necessary thing we all have to do. Okay, I'm going to rub it down with some isopropyl alcohol, get rid of the residue. I haven't finished sanding because I'm going to take it up to 240. And also I've got to round or break some of these edges. So give it a wipe down with this and okay, I like that dry and I'll bring you back when I have ready for finish. There you go, just sanding it down with 240 grit by hand. I'm going to give it another wipe down and then we'll get ready for finish. Now for finishing on this, I'm going to do the same as I did on the clock. As I mentioned earlier in the video, if you haven't seen that, it's part of our scrap wood sort of chapter, what we've been doing the last few weeks. And I'm going to treat it with mineral oil and finish it with the wax that we make ourselves, which is beeswax and mineral oil again. So I'll get the residue off here, and I've just remembered while I'm telling you this that I haven't done the actual holder part. So put that to one side. There's not much come off that, which I'm quite pleased with, which is this bit here. This hasn't been sanded yet, as I said to you earlier. This broke on us, so I'm going to do this one by hand, I think. You don't need to watch that. I'll get it done and then we'll be, next time you see us, we'll be ready for gluing this piece in and get it finished. I'll probably bring it back when it's glued in and ready to be finished up. There you go. It's like I say, it's been waxed with beeswax and mineral oil and coated in mineral oil prior. Really doesn't half show up. I was again going to use a gloss, but I think walnut looks a bit plastic when it's done, and the added thing of the spalted beech as a holder. Does it work? Here's my phone. And I think, really, if you, depending on how you want to watch it, it works out of the way. So I think that's a win. I'll put the image up of what we made, so you've got another comparison, save you scooting back. And yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Yeah. Well, if you've stuck to the end, thank you. If you do like what you've seen, bearing in mind this was made of scrap, I know it's walnut, but it was made of scrap, and it can be easily done with pine. And if I had any, which I haven't, I would have done it in that anyway. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. So I say, if you think we deserve it, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. But before you go, I have a question to ask you. I've been given this. It's a piece of oak. It's manufactured, engineered oak, and I don't know what to do with it. If you've got any ideas, please leave it in the comments, and if we get them soon enough, I could make that the next project. Okay, catch you on the next one.